Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a real mystery, a real case study that sounds like could be straight out of a detective novel, but it's all true. It's about a family, just like yours and mine, who ran into some big legal troubles because of a few small mistakes in their paperwork. So imagine this, you're helping your family get your citizenship in another country, but suddenly you find out there's a huge mix-up with your documentation. That's exactly what happened to a person named Ravi who was trying to help his sister. So despite everything seeming fine, Ravi hit a major roadblock that almost changed his sister's future. This story might sound a bit complex at first, but it's super important because it shows just how crucial it is to make sure all your documents are correct when dealing with something as big as your Portuguese nationality. Ravi's family learned this the hard way, and today we're going to find out exactly what went wrong and how you can avoid similar issues. So let's uncover the mystery of how a few pieces of paper can make such a huge difference. So are you ready to crack the case? So let's zoom in and uncover the secrets behind why it is important to double check your documents. Now you might be wondering, why does the story really matter to me? Well, whether you're planning to get a Portuguese passport or just traveling to Portugal, or for that matter going to any country, this tale is packed with twists that could affect anyone. And guess what? Document discrepancies like the one Ravi's family encountered are surprisingly common, and they can really turn your life upside down. So imagine like you're setting up this giant domino trail that stretches all the way across your room. Everything looks perfect and you're ready to flick the first piece. But then you find out that one critical domino is out of place, stopping the entire show. That's a bit like what happened to Ravi's sister. It could happen to anyone who isn't careful with their paperwork. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, not only would you know exactly how Ravi's family story unfolds, but I'll also share with you some super useful tips you can take to make sure your documents are in tip-top shape. Who knows, these tips you learn today might just save you from a paperwork disaster in the future. And that's not all. We'll also explore how tiny errors that might seem like no big deal can have giant repercussions, and I'll show you how to avoid these pitfalls. So grab your pens and papers, because we're about to get to the bottom of this mystery and learn how to keep your paperwork as neat as your bedroom. Well, hopefully neater. Alright, so let's crack open this case and see exactly where things started to go wrong for Ravi and his family. It's a bit like following a treasure map where X marks the spot, but instead of treasure, we find a mix-up that no one really wanted. So way back in 1969, Ravi's mother, let's call her Kamala Banerjee, got married to Rahul Gupta in Goa, and she decided to change her name to Poonam Gupta after the wedding. That's pretty straightforward, right? Just like a normal bride would do back in the day after they get married. But here's where the first clue to solving this puzzle comes in. So when Poonam, formerly known as Kamala, went to register her birth in Portugal, she used her old name, that's Kamala Banerjee, and not her new one, which is okay, so as far as she was to update the married name and register her marriage in Portugal, which in this case was totally ignored. So it was like updating your Minecraft username only in half your games. Confusing, right? And it doesn't stop here. Poonam registered her marriage not once, but 3 times. First, in 1969 in Goa in a temple under the Hindu Marriage Act. Then for some reason went on to register her marriage date in Portugal as 1977 under the name Kamala Banerjee, and again registered her civil marriage in Goa in 1987. Each time with a little twist, adding more layers to this mystery. Now keep in mind, she had already assumed the name Poonam Gupta way back in 1969, and all her Indian documents since then was listed under the name Poonam Gupta. I also later found out from her son that the change in her marriage date in Portugal was suggested by some quack Portuguese passport agent in Goa. So before we dive into the complexities of this case, let me introduce myself. I am Jason Machado, the founder of TIC Global. And what do we do at TIC Global? Well, we tackle all the difficult stuff for you, like taking up your birth records, your marriage records, or navigating through all the tricky paperwork, or for that matter, even submitting your file in Portugal. I'm proud to say that we are one of the few consultancies who specialize in birth verification processes after liberation, especially from Mumbai. no matter what your story is, we've got you sorted. With a 99% success rate, we believe that if you're stuck at any point in this maze of Portuguese nationality and passport, we can surely rescue you. Now, let's get back to the story. So this triple marriage registration made it look like Poonam of Kamla had 3 different marriages at 3 different times, which wasn't true actually, but on paper, that's how it appeared. This is where things get even more interesting. So Poonam, who had a son Ravi, who was born in 1979, and a daughter born in 1974. Now, when the daughter, who was born in 1974, tried to claim her Portuguese nationality, the authority said, wait a minute, now this doesn't add up. Because the official documents didn't recognize Poonam's and Rahul's marriage until 1977, and they thought Ravi's sister, who was born in 1974, was born before the parents were officially married, making her what they call legitimate. Now that's a harsh word for what was really just a big mix-up with dates. So for Ravi's family, getting their documents straightened out is the key. Again, since Ravi is already a Portuguese national and holds a Portuguese passport, the details for his mother, that is her marriage date and her name, is still incorrect on Portuguese record till this very date. So imagine a scenario if Ravi's mother was to apply for her Portuguese passport today, her Indian name would say Poonam Gupta and not Kamla Banerjee. Remember, she was registered as Kamla Banerjee in Portugal? So as per the Portuguese authorities, at present as it stands, Kamla Banerjee and Poonam Gupta are 2 different people. More importantly, Ravi's mother had registered her birth in Portugal in 2010 and since then had also renewed her Indian passport a couple of times, which again is illegal since she is already a Portuguese national since 2010. So for you, learning from their story means you know how important it is to keep all your important papers like your birth certificate and any legal documents neat, accurate, and up to date. I know it sounds like something out of a legal drama, Ally McBeal maybe? But unfortunately, this is a real life scenario, a true story that could happen to anyone. At least I know of another case which is very similar to this. That's why it's so important to double check and ensure all your documents are correct and consistent no matter where you are in the world. If you have any questions about today's case study or have your own story you would like to share of how you navigated your Portuguese passport process, drop a comment below. I love reading your stories and I respond to as many as I can. Also, please share this video with your friends and families who might be dreaming of making their own Portuguese passport. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.